brave. Adventures tonight with our mighty team. Heroes we become, living out the dream. Roll the dice, feel the thrill. Monsters we will overthrow. Questing with friends in the RPG show.
Tabletop role-playing game crowdfunding Kickstarter projects coming to an end this week, brought to you by me, your favorite idiot, the OGGM. What's up, my fellow nerds? It's your boy, coming to you live about 8 o'clock in the morning here at Site B. It is the 19th day of September 2024, which means it is International Talk Like a Pirate Day. So what are we doing? Why are we talking like this when we should be Arg, avast, you scurvy dogs, and prepare to hear the crowdfunding projects for this week. Talking like that, except the pirate voice is hard to continue, but I might slip it in. Okay, so the following crowdfunding thingies are coming to an end, but you still have a chance to head over to your crowdfunding project website of choice and support them. So the very first one we have is Beatles and Grimm's Faster Purple Worm, Everybody Dies Volume 1. It's amazing how they managed to make a book based upon the Faster Purple Worm Kill podcasts, considering the thing's like only a couple months old. But okay, hey, so what is this? Everybody Dies is an adventure. It's $40 plus shipping and handling for the PDF and the print version. This brings you a series of adventures based upon stories people told in the series Faster Purple Worm, Everybody Dies, or just short adventures based upon stories that people told about how their characters died. I don't really understand this. I mean, how hour long? The series hasn't been on long enough to have hour longs worth of short. So I don't know. They're short adventures where characters can recklessly throw their characters into actions because death is their destiny. If you're interested in the streaming series, the campaign page has link. I don't know. This kind of sounds just dumb. You purposely designing character adventures where you know the characters are going to die, unless it's a funnel, which, you know, I love the funnels, but just death dungeons for the sake of death dungeons because dying's funny. I mean, yes, I think a TPK is hilarious when it happens naturally, especially when the TPK is the fault of the players. Just being continuously spiraling towards their doom and not being aware enough to take the steps to spiral back out of the doom. Most people get upset when their characters die, and I've been upset when a character dies, but most of the time I find character death hilarious, especially if the cause of death was funny. So I don't know. This just seems like another pointless money grab from Beatles and Grimm. But then again, mostly everything Beatles and Grimm makes is just pointless money grabs. I have the player's handbook when you can have the Beatles and Grimm super special deluxe leather embossed 3D cover now with its pumpkin spice for twice the price. Yeah. Look, dudes, if you want a bunch of adventures where your characters are going to die, just get some DCC funnels or just run Tomb of Horrors. From Melisonian's Art Council, we have Get It at Sutter's, a Troikia adventure generator. This is $32, PDF and print versions of the book, as well as a welcome back. Troikia is a gonzo role-playing acid punk setting that doesn't get as much love as it should. This place takes you where, what is this? Sutter's is a place where the characters can get employment to go on adventures, and then this helps you generate random adventures and scary places and stuff like that, including starting adventures and how to incorporate science fantasy and what the characters can do in free time, like, you know, applying for jobs, for adventuring and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. My character's greatest goal in life is to work at a pet store and not actually adventure doesn't seem to fit with the acid punk gonzo feel of Troikia, but I think they're just trying to feed into the non-existent idea that that's what players want to do now. You know, I don't know anybody who wants to play a role-playing game where their character's goal is to go work 9 to 5 and then go out and, drink with their friends. Why would just do that in real life? Watch Friends if that's what you want to do. Play a slice of life JRPG. Read a lit novel. Who wants to play a game where their character's whole point of existence is to go work at Starbucks or a pet store or whatever? Oh, what did you do in today's adventure, Billy? Oh, today's adventure? Well, in today's adventure, Mrs. DeMonica's came back because she was very disappointed with the lamp I sold her last week. So I had to make a replace light bulb check. Oh my God. The difficulty was so hard. I mean, my character doesn't know how to replace light bulb. Now, I could be wrong. There might be people out there who want to role play real life. Why should I get a job when I can just talk about my non-existent job and role play my job? Oh, wow, my first day at work was so hard in my imaginary job. No, if you want to role play getting a job. You guys do realize, anybody who doesn't realize the Starbucks Strixhaven thing was a joke by now is just way too deep in the conspiracy swimming pool and needs to take a break. Storypath Ultra Core Manual. So this is from Onyx Path Publishing. It's them again making an attempt to take the Storypath system, famous for things like Vampire, Trinity, Exalted, stuff like that, and turn it into a generic system. So this is $60 for the PDF and the print version of the book, plus a POD discount coupon if you want to get more stuff. So it's the D10 dice pool system with all the stuff that you're familiar with from Chronicles of Darkness, Scion, Trinity, Vampire, whatever. But now we're presenting it as a generic rule book. They did this once before. And it didn't really work, but they're trying again. Does the Storypath system work on its own as a generic you do whatever you want system without all the trappings of Vampire? Since 80% of Vampire and all the other games is the storytelling aspect. I mean, if you take all the storytelling and all the fluff, the book should not be worth $60 because the actual rules for Storypath are like maybe 40 pages. But there's probably somebody out there who's like going, finally, I can convert the superhero game that I've always wanted to run to Storypath because now I have the generic universal rules for the Storypath system. From Night Vision Creative, we have Project Cerebus for D&D 5th edition. D&D 5th edition, this is $60. Gets you the PDF and the print versions of Creed Codex books, plus your choice of $80 worth of credit towards a Creed Codex store. So for $50 to $60, I get an $80 gift card plus PDF and print version of the book. Okay, this might actually be good. It's a series of books where each one is dedicated by a specific trope. One is a cyberpunk trope. One is a psionic world trope. One is looks like it's sort of a body horror trope. So here, Echoes of the Shadowed Age. I guess that's the cyberpunk one. Legends of the Scions is the psychic mutant one. And Arcane Secrets of the Summoners seems to be like another one dealing with just different style of fantasy tropes as a whole campaign. This is a little pricey, but it's a good idea. A few years ago, a company tried to do that with all the different post-Holocaust. They created just a very simple system, and then they released a book that covered like 2 or 3 different apocalypses each, and just they did a lot of research into the various takes on, say, zombie apocalypse or, alien invasion apocalypse. And at the end had a very simple, not that great system. But I like that. I like the idea of here's a source book that gives you sort of a lot of information over the very many different variations of a topic like cyberpunk. And it works with a very simple system, like 5th edition. 60 is a little pricey, but this is cool. I like this. I want to see more things like this. We have from Blake Ryan, Don't Pay the Ferryman for Dragonbane and Powered by the Apocalypse. $25 Australian, gets you the PDF and a POD coupon. And it's a pseudo Bronze Age fantasy campaign. It is available for both Dragonbane and Powered by the Apocalypse. including rules for chases and journeys, playbooks, and basically just Bronze Age fantasy. Bronze Age being like late Roman Empire. Ray Harryhausen fantasy would be Bronze Age. From Kids in the Attic, we have Sleepy Hollow, a tabletop role-playing game of near early 19th century folk horror, early 19th century American folk horror specifically, if it's based upon Sleepy Hollow and Edgar Allan Poe stuff. This is $25 for the PDF of the book and a POD discount. It's from the Year Zero engine, which I love. It's got folk magic. It's got uncanny creatures. It's got scenarios all about sort of that folk horror of the 19th century. So, Legend of Sleepy Hollow, Edgar Allan Poe, cryptids, 19th century America's own mythology, especially that older mythology. There's that huge chunk of American history where all this sort of, we had our own darkness, Sure, Europe's got Frankenstein and Dracula and the werewolf and the mummy and the invisible man, but we get stuff too. We got scary stuff too. We got Bigfoot, motherfuckers. Tales of the Old West from Effect for the Year Zero engine. It's $40 for the PDF and the print version of the book. It's an American Old West around 1873, 200 pages of history, adventure, campaign ideas, things you can do in the Old West. Or, I did an Old West game too for a lot less than $40. I'm just saying, you could get this one for the Year Zero engine, or you could get mine, which is like $6. And if you ignore the fact that it's all about goblins in the Old West, I did all this pretty much the same, if not more, research than these guys did. Or you can get Cow Punchers from my good friend, The Basic Expert, which is another Old West game. And my good friend, Victor, the Scrying Dutchman, is working on an Old West. So if you're just looking for classic Old West, there's plenty of options available for you that won't cost you $40. So I'm just going to post the links to mine in the description down below because, I got to show my own stuff. All right, so let's see what stands out to me this week. Okay, I like the art. I love Halloween. I love American Halloween. 19th century folk horror Halloween. $25 is reasonable. This is if that's the thing you're looking for, it's cool. I think it's nice to see original ideas like this. Instead of doing Lovecraft, we're doing Edgar Allan Poe type horror. I like this. I want to see more things like this. $60 is too pricey, but I like the idea. Reminds me of the GURPS settings books. $60 for the generic rules for Story Path. I don't think it's worth it. I mean, no, stop it. Nobody wants to play I Want to Work at the Pet Store as a role-playing game. And I'm just was going to say no just on, sheer what standards I have left. I mean, there's not a lot of fights I'll stick to, but, this is definitely one of the ones where I'm like, $40 for a bunch of kill your players one-shots. I could, just get a PDF of Tomb of Horrors for like $8. I could buy like 4 zero-level funnels from Goodman Games for $40 and just run those if I wanted to kill my characters. TPK comedy, forced comedy like Faster Purple Worm Kill doesn't work. The only way a comedy works is if it happens naturally. If there's an episode of Critical Role or Dimension 20 or Acquisitions Incorporated where it ends up being silly, it's because it happened naturally. That you don't try and force it. Faster Purple Worm Kill is trying to force the comedy into an hour of role play, and it doesn't work. So, yeah, I no on principles. Just yeah. Can think of better things you could spend your money on than a $120 version of a player's handbook, especially if you can get it for free online. And that's it for today. Links down below for all the ones that I think are worth your time. If you appreciate me doing this every Thursday, let me know. If you never want to hear me do this ever again, let me know. If you're looking to support a tabletop role-playing game, you could support me by picking up my stuff. Links down below. I'm the OGGM. Have a great day. I will talk to you all later. See ya.
News from the table in the rolling waves. Dice in our hand, where the dungeon's brave. Adventures tonight with our mighty